Hello and welcome to this video. Do you have a bunch of clips lying around somewhere from your latest trip, safely stored on your hard drive, but you would actually love to edit it to a great travel video, but you don't know how? Well, lucky you, then you're exactly right here, because today I'm going to share with you 5 tips to edit a travel video. If you're new here, my name is Michael. I'm an enthusiastic hobby videographer, and my main goal on this channel is to help you create great videos to relive exciting moments and share with others. So if you like creating videos and you're just starting out, I would love you to hit the subscribe button and become part of this community and start learning with me. So let's come to the editing tips. If you are someone that is just casually shooting when you're traveling, when you're on an exciting trip, chances are that you have not planned your video in advance and you don't know exactly what the story is going to look like when you come into the editing room on the computer. And that brings me to the first point. Keep it short. Nobody likes to watch a video that is 30 minutes, 40 minutes long, which is not a professional movie or a documentary or so. So really try to cut down to the decisive and important moments. One of my latest examples is a video I did about Sumatra, where we went trekking into the jungle and seeing wild orangutans sleeping in the jungle. So I had a bunch of footage which was shot on my drone, on my GoPro and on my mirrorless camera, but it was not really connected and I still wanted to edit it. One of our best weekend trips from Singapore was to a place that doesn't come to your mind when you think of amazing places in Indonesia. You can watch the full video here, I link it up here. And then you can see how my final 5-minute edit looked. So one way of doing that is when you're editing in the room, try to have very short clips. So for example, in my Sumatra video, the longest clip was around 5 to 6 seconds long, but most of my clips, they were between short of a few frames, so lower than a second, all the way up to like 3-4 seconds maximum. And how you do that? Well, first go through your footage, cut out all the things that are super shaky, overexposed, not really composed well, doesn't add anything to the story. So basically everything that looks very bad, just leave it out. And yes, sometimes it can make sense to even include shaky footage. For example, when you're walking, I did that as well in the Sumatra video, where I was just holding the GoPro and walking in the jungle, but I just kept this because it helps to glue the story together. And that brings me to the second point. Always try to think in a storyline. Even though you haven't planned the video and the story in advance, before you start editing, think of the story that you want to tell and how you want to lay out the story. When you have the clips together, try to think how you can best align them so that they make sense. For example, in my intro that I just showed you before in the Sumatra video, the first clip is a wide drone shot coming down into the jungle, and then you're flying around the river, and then you see us walking in the jungle, looking up, seeing the orangutans arriving at the river, refreshing, and then you have a drone shot coming out of the river. This is an order that makes sense, right? And very often you might have a storyline in your head, but you have a lot of missing pieces. And that brings me to the third point. Try to think of additional ways how you can enhance your story, how you can fit in those missing parts. So for example, use photos you took on the trip. Use a voiceover to help flow along the story. Use animated maps to show the location. In my Sumatra example, I used photos to show the place where we slept overnight, because I didn't have any footage of the sleeping place itself, but I still wanted to have it included because that was a major part of the whole experience on this weekend. And then at the beginning I used an animated map that gives you an overview of the location and geographically where does the whole story take place. Also the voiceover, which was mainly my main storytelling element in the whole video. Obviously it would be better if you're there and you're kind of capturing emotion in a vlogging style, but I just didn't do that, and then you need to work with what you have. The fourth point is edit to the music. It begins with choosing the right song. So for example, if you have an action-based video, you rather want to have a happy song, a fast-paced, high-energy song. If you have a romantic video, then you probably rather want to have a slow, romantic song. So you have a song that fits to the story that you want to tell. And second, the music defines when you can make cuts. When you import a track into the timeline, you see these waveforms, right? So all the peaks, they basically tell you when there is a beat. And you should always cut to kind of one of those prominent elements in the track. Try to listen to the music and then use the beats, use other elements as well. So for example, when it's a slow part of the track, have some slower cuts, and then when it comes up to a climax and you have more fast paced in the track, then try to have a more higher pace in your edit as well. And that's something that I think really comes with practice. The more you edit, the more you listen to those tracks. Try to listen it several times and think of how it connects to your storyline. How can you shuffle the clips? Where can you put it? Where can you put the highlights? Where does it make sense, etc. And try some things out. You usually immediately see if it doesn't work. And if it does, that's perfect. And then the last point, have fun editing. That's what it's all about, right? Because after all, you're on holiday, you're enjoying somewhere, so you're not there for the sake of shooting, but you're just trying to capture emotions, capture these exciting moments to help you relive it later on. And sometimes you look at your footage and you kind of think, that sucks, I don't think that is even worth editing. And I had this a lot of time, but you'll be actually surprised what you can get out of it. And then if it's like this, just try to make it even shorter and just get the really important points out, and think of it as an exercise of editing, because that will make you more experienced and more advanced when you actually have better footage to work with as well. And that's it. These are my 5 tips to edit a travel video. Keep it short, try to think in a storyline, try to think in ways how you can enhance your story, edit to the music, and have fun while you're doing it. Yeah, and that's it for today. I'm really interested in what are your main struggles when you're editing a holiday video, and let me know if you have any topics that you would like me to cover in the future. After all, we're all here to learn, to get better. So if you liked it and if you find the video helpful, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. If you also want to improve your videography skills and you think you can learn more, then hit the subscribe button. And until next Thursday, I really wish you a great weekend and a great week ahead. Until then, stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.